Hello from Los Angeles. I am here right now, so I'm going to give you a little bit of instructions on how to complete your final project. Since I am in Los Angeles, there's a lot of noise outside, so hopefully you can't hear too much of that background noise, but it's a little noisy here. So once you get to this slide, if you are a fully remote student and you are not going to be here at school at any point for the next several weeks or anything, you will complete this assignment. If you are home sick and you're probably going to be back to school within the next couple days, let me know, and I think we will complete the in-class assignment. Also, if you have any questions about that today, which is October 5th, you should email Miss Joy. She's Joy Huffman. She will be answering questions about it as I am here and will probably not be monitoring my email much. Okay, so let's talk about how this assignment is going to go. So what you're going to do for a final product is write up a formal lab report. This is fairly typical in the scientific community. Most of the time when a scientist completes their work, they write it up as a formal lab report. So I'm going to go through the instructions on what is going to be included in this, and I have some samples and examples here for you to look at. First of all, you'll need to make sure that you do have the data from your group. So if they have not yet contacted you, which they should have last week, make sure you contact them about the data. So first thing is you're going to click on this assignment and it will open this document. This is a checklist and a rubric over explaining exactly what I'm going to be looking for. So this is a formal report, so you will type it and write it up as if you're writing an essay in language arts. The requirements are that they are written according to the lab report format, which I'll show you in a second. It's typed and submitted in Canvas. You can include, and the graphs and data tables can be included sort of in a separate file since they're not necessarily going to be typed right in there with it. And there is a self-evaluation at the bottom of this rubric that you'll need to fill out. A completed lab report does include the following. You'll have a good title, an introduction paragraph or paragraphs, your materials and methods. That's your procedure. You've already written it. You just have to write it up into a nice, good draft. You'll have your data table and graph, which again are already done. And you'll have a really good conclusion paragraph or paragraphs that we've been practicing, and hopefully you have that already done as well. So this is the rubric. Just make sure you read through it to look exactly how I'm going to be scoring you, and then take a look at this self-evaluation part here at the bottom. You will need to evaluate yourself. So the next step here is to open this document, this one, because it is exactly what needs to be included, including sort of the formatting of the paper. So what I did was I typed up these instructions to look like the lab report should look. So pay very close attention to things like the fonts and the setup of it. So for example, you're going to have a title at the top center of the page, and it's going to be an 18-point font. And then you're going to center your name and date and class period underneath there, and it's going to be in 14. So very important that it is actually structured and formatted like this. The introduction is exactly what it sounds like, serves to introduce the experiment to the reader. It should be written as a paragraph, and it should start with your question. So the question way back when we formed those questions, something like, does the height of a stair affect how fast a slinky goes down it? Or does the weight on a car affect how far it drives? That is what you're going to start with. Then you're going to include any background information. This would be any sort of anything you know about the topic. So kind of how did you come up with your hypothesis? What made you think that more weight would cause it to go farther. And then you'll end with your hypothesis. So really important that it's written in a technical writing format. So you shouldn't be using any pronouns. You're not going to say our group did this or my hypothesis was this. It's going to be no pronouns, very formal. Your materials and methods are exactly what you've already done. So you're going to type up your materials and then that list of procedures. Basically, you're just going to retype what you've already done into a nice format. Data and graph you've already completed. And then your conclusion paragraph, hopefully you've already finished it and submitted it on Canvas, and that should be the one that you use for this. Make sure that everything is typed exactly how you wrote it, how I wrote it here. So including that these little subheadings are bold and underlined. It should look just like this. Okay. And just to show you a sample of what this may look like, I made this up, but here's an example of a lab report. So you can see starting with the title, introduction, materials and methods, data, and conclusion. So you'll want to read through this just to get an idea of what it might look like. And I included some little pointers and stuff here on the right in the comments. So you're going to be working on that this week. They're going to be due, your papers, final papers are due on Friday. I think that's an even day. So you will be submitting them to Canvas no later than Friday. If you want me to proofread your work, you can share it with me and I will do my best. Today and tomorrow will be a little weird because I'm traveling, but I'll be back in Homer on Tuesday night. So I should be able to proofread work starting then. So if you have it typed up, a first draft typed up by Wednesday, I can proofread it for you. Again, you can email me with any questions. If you have any immediate questions that you need answered today, you'll want to email Miss Joy or comment in this slide. She'll be monitoring that during second period today. All right, good luck.